Hello everyone and welcome to part 3 of my X99 upgrade. Those of you that have been watching me for a while will know that I used to do unboxings on this box, and I also, well, I still do obviously, use this box to put my computer on when I'm either cleaning it or changing hardware or whatever. But what you don't see is the damage it does to the wall, which is all of this. I've had to patch all of this up because of me putting my computer up there. I've just always bashed the wall with the case, and it's meant I've needed to go and fill all of those holes in. Anyway, now what I'm going to do is properly position the computer, properly position the camera, and then just get on with the installation of the new hardware. I've got a new location for the camera, so can you see the tripod? Yeah, you can just see the feet of the tripod. Basically, I put the camera on the tripod beside my computer, which means that you can get a very clear view of what I'm doing inside. So first thing that I need to do is take the graphics card out, because without taking that out, I can't get the motherboard out. And as this power supply is semi-modular, I'll just take that cable out right now. I'll get my screwdriver that I prepared for earlier, because I actually prepared for this video. So just get the screw off there. What I didn't prepare for is where am I going to put the screws. So I'll be back once I've got that little screw box thing. So with my socket set came these two little boxes, which I've never actually used, even though I've had the socket set for a very long time. So when I just figure out which way to open it, I'm just going to put the GPU screws in there. Unclip it from the motherboard down there, and I can lift it out. Let's unplug the USB 3 header, take out the front I/O, take out the USB 2, take out the USB audio, take out the motherboard power, take out the SATA cables. In case you wondered why I hung my computer over the edge, like I've done, is because I want to take my editing drive out for a start, because all of my documents and stuff are backed up to my editing drive, so I definitely don't want to format this one. I do also have other backups, because I'm the type of person that makes backups of backups. But yeah, I'm going to stand the computer up for this one because it will involve removing cables, which if I angle it a little bit, you might be able to see just a little bit better. So let's have a look here, shall we? Oh yeah, I'll tell you what I did forget to unplug, the CPU power. So there's the CPU power unplugged. Let's get the SATA power out from here. That's one less cable to worry about. Sorry, not SATA cable, the hard drive power cable taken out. There's a SATA cable, and there's the other SATA cable. And then I just need to take the power out like that. Now I do need to get the front audio out though. Okay, this adapter will not be of any use as this is an ASUS adapter. Now I've got all the cables out, I'm just going to lay it down again. I'm going to pull out my ingenious paperclip way of mounting the fan on the cooler. And then I can take the fan off once I've unplugged it from up there. So there's a fan off. There's my ingenious little paperclip clip that I use to hold the fan on. While I'm here, because it will make it easier to get the motherboard off, I'm going to go ahead and take the cooler off. Whereas with the X99 or 2011 socket as it's actually called, the mount is already on the CPU socket, so you don't need to install any backplates or anything. So there's the cooler off. By looking at the CPU, it looks like it was a fairly decent application, but it looks like there might have been a few bubbles or something in there. Now I'm at the stage where I can take the motherboard out. Oh! I just knocked the screw thing over. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not going to take them out in any fancy order, I'm just going to take them out. Notice how I counted 9, but yet there is no 9th screw, there's only 8, because that's a little pin thing that's already on the case. In fact, to save you watching me take it all out, I'm just going to jump cut to when I've got all of the screws out and I'm ready to take the motherboard out. So I'll see you once I've done that. I'm ready to take the motherboard out, so let's go ahead and do that. Oh. Now you see, that fan cable has always been a problem. Oh, Right, there's screws everywhere because I hadn't taken them out of the holes because I can't remember where I put my magnet. So I'll need to look about and try and find the screws, but here is the old motherboard, CPU and RAM setup out of the case. I'm still undecided on what to do with this. I know for a fact I'm not throwing it away. I'm like thinking of selling it, but to be honest, I don't really want to sell it because this was my first ever computer that I purchased all the parts for and assembled myself. So yeah, I'm undecided. And no, I'm not giving it away. Well, not for free anyway. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Right, I've got all the screws now. What are you doing? No, you don't. You go in there with that one. Motherboard screws go in there. Right, I am ready to get my new motherboard. Yay, let's go and get it. We'll just say I'm going to install the cooler and stuff and the RAM outside of the case because that way it will just be easier. Let's unwrap my RAM. So there's 1 dim. There's 2 dims, 3 dims, 4 dims. Then 5, 6, 7, 8 dims. Oh. Now I do know there are 32 gigabytes of RAM here, but what I do know is that they are actually 2 16 gigabytes. So I need to sort them out by their serial number, which is 14. Right, so all of those go together and all of these go together, and yes, I know I'm touching them. I will clean them before I put them in, but yeah, this RAM is actually 2 16 gigabyte sets, so we've got like 4, 8, 12, 16 and then 4, 8, 12, 16 combined at 32. I've sorted those out, so now I can go and get my new motherboard. I just remembered, before I can get my new motherboard, I need to take the CPU out of this motherboard. Now, unfortunately, as I bought this as a bundle second hand, it didn't come with a CPU cover, but I have ordered one of them. So what I'm going to do in the meantime until the order arrives is I'm going to put the CPU cover from this one, once I've got it, onto this socket. So what I have prepared, or haven't actually, because everything is still in it. So what I am planning on doing is putting this motherboard in here and then shutting it so that way nothing can interfere with the pins, hopefully. So this is I do that one first and then this one. So here is the CPU. Say i7-5930K for those wondering. Now this is where I need to be delicate. Put that in there, put that in there. Now don't even breathe on the pins right now. And yes, I know that this is a Maximus 9 Hero motherboard box, which I don't actually own. I got it second hand, it's part of a bundle, it came in here, so yeah, that is what it is. So now I can get my new motherboard. Ta-da! Okay, how do the pins look? Faces. They look okay, actually. Right, let's go ahead and install the CPU. I've lifted that one up, but now this one won't come out. Now you see this, oh dear. I have not bought a defective board, have I? Oh, no, there was just the cover was sort of slightly in the way. I'm going to wipe these down with a clean microfiber cloth once I go and get one, and then I'll install it. And by microfiber cloth, turns out actually a towel. It's still microfiber. There we go, everything looks good CPU wise, and put the towel there. So now, where's the arrow? Arrow's there, the golden arrow is there, so it goes in this way. Right, that's in. So now let's put it down. Like that. There we go. CPU installed. Yes. There's the nerve-wracking bit over, because there's all the 2011 pins and you don't want to damage one of them. But yeah, there's that over. Before you ask, yes, I will clean the CPU with isopropyl alcohol. I'm looking around trying to find these, which are the, like I said, the 2011 socket already has the cooler backplate already in place, so I just need to screw these adapters into each of these and then fit the cooler. I'm not going to bore you with me screwing each one of these into the little hole thing. I'll just jump cut to once I've got them all installed. Okay, so as you can see, I have got those mounts mounted. Now what I need to do is go and clean the CPU compound from here, wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol, do the same with the CPU, then mount the cooler. Okay, so there we go. I have cleaned the cooler down, CPU down, but now I need to make sure that these screws are in the correct alignment for mounting the LGA 2011 socket, which means that they need to be moved right up to the far end of each of the little arm things. Then once all of those are in the correct space, then they should line up like that, and they do. So now I need to try and figure out how I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the cooler on like that, then I'll probably feed this in through the side, feed it in through the side, open it out, and open it out by, so it'll be like that when I feed it in, so then just need to open it one more, and then screw it in. I will be putting the cooler on before I put the RAM in, because if not then the RAM might get in the way well, it will get in the way if I'm feeding it in from the side, won't it, because the RAM will be here blocking me being able to put that in from the side. I'm now going to mount the CPU cooler. Let's get the trusty old microfiber towel back, just give it another rub down, just to make sure that there is no grease or anything on there. And now I'll go ahead and put this is the other nerve-wracking part, is the first one putting the CPU in because you don't want to damage any of the pins, and then the second part is putting thermal compound on. So as this is a much bigger socket, much bigger CPU than my old CPU, I'm going to put on a larger amount. That's sort of a bit goopy around the end there. Oh, I've got it all over the socket. Oh dear. Here we go. That's clean. Cooler master. In fact, no, let's put this through before putting it on. Ah, you see. There we go. Right, and now I can put it on. This is recording? Yes. Just get these screws in a little bit. Get you in, you're in. Get this one in a little bit. Now we'll do this one. That one's in, and now we'll do this one. Whew. That was intense. So do that one about a third. Then ideally you should do this one because it's opposite each other. And this one, and this one. And then just repeat this process until, in fact, let's screw this one all the way in. I know it's making that noise, it's supposed to. Don't worry, I'm not damaging anything. And now just screw it in until it stops turning. Now you don't want to put excess force on it. You want to make sure that it's like tightened up and not going to come loose type of tighten. But you don't want to screw it in not all the way and then it ends up falling off or coming loose, and then you wonder why your temperatures are like 200. No, I'm not joking. If your temperatures were at 200, your CPU will probably explode. There is the CPU cooler on. I know I just sort of moved it a bit, but there is the cooler on. Now I need to install the RAM. So according to what it says there, here and in the manual, these are DIMMs 1 through 4, these are DIMMs 5 through 8. Now I need to get my 2 sets of RAM, which I have here, and install them. But before I do that, I'm going to clean them. Okay, so as you can see over here, I've sorted them out into the 2 different sets. Now it says 1 through 4 here, so I'm going to put 4 of them in here, 4 of them in here. So now with my Asus motherboard, is like lane 1's here, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, lane 5, lane 6. But here is like lane 1 through 4 and then lane 5 through 8. Regarding RAM lanes, not PCI lanes, they just get confusing. Yeah, so let's make sure that all of these bits are open. Align the RAM. And then push until it clicks. Now you may think you might damage your motherboard doing this, but you're not going to, so don't worry about it. It's like when you're tightening things up. As it's a computer, you want to be delicate with it, but for things like this, you kind of need to apply pressure. But what I do is, as you just saw, I lift the motherboard up and then push it in evenly while pushing in on the other side of the motherboard, so that I don't end up putting excess strain on the motherboard. And apologies for the helicopter that's flying past. Now I can turn it around and install this RAM, which are these that I have here. So these ones go in the opposite way from those ones. Now I'll need to have it sideways so I can reach underneath and apply pressure like that. So you're going to have to deal with the sideways motherboard bit for now. I will power it on outside of the case so that I don't need to end up doing diagnostics in the case, which does mean I'll need to get my power supply out of the case. So yeah, I guess I'll do that. Okay, there's a CPU cooler and all 32GB of RAM installed. The next step is actually to do a out-of-box test. So I won't record it, but I'm going to I'll record the test, but I'm not going to record me pulling my power supply out and setting it all up ready to turn on for the test. So yeah, I'll see you once I'm ready to turn it on. Okay, so usually what you just do is when you do an out-of-box test is you just post beep. Basically, can you get to the BIOS, and if you can, then you're usually good. I've gone all out with this one. Got the CPU motherboard power plugged in. I've got my OS drive plugged in and my graphics card plugged in, mouse and keyboard. I'm going to see if we can make it to the desktop. If we can, then I know that everything is good. So let me go and plug the power in. Plugs in, power is in. Power is that it on? No, right, now the power's on. So now I need to go and press the power button, which is that one. Right, we have life, GPU fans are spinning, there's lights, I've got a code 19, whatever that means. Oh, I've got a green light on my main monitor. CPU or memory change. Press F2 to load defaults. I'm just going to load defaults for now. I've pressed F2. There we go. I've made it to the BIOS screen. Just take you off the camera for this. Okay, here we go. We can see that I'm loading into Windows now. Oh yeah, it says it's getting devices ready. I know what it's doing, it's done this before. All I need to do is just wait for it to get devices ready, and then when it recognises there is an OS on that drive, it should just boot straight to that OS. If everything's gone well, we should see the desktop. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the desktop. Now, has it detected everything? Let me just go and run Task Manager. Okay, so the CPU detected i7-5930K. So that's the CPU's detected memory, 1.8 gigabytes out of 31.9 gigabytes. So the CPU's detected, that's good. The memory is detected, all 32 gigabytes of it, that's good. Disk 1 is detected, which is, well, good, because if it wasn't detected, I wouldn't be in Windows right now. But yes, there we go. There's the out of case test done, and I can confirm that the CPU and the RAM and everything looks fine. I don't know about temperatures. Okay, so just hovering at the desktop here, well, in File Explorer, those are the temperatures. And those temperatures, to be honest, they're better than the temperatures on my old system. My old system was around 40 at idling, but it was stupidly overclocked 4.3, whereas this is just at stock. What shall we run? I have a huge selection of different applications. Should we do a bit of Cinebench? Let's do a bit of Cinebench. So here we are, just loading up Cinebench. I'll keep the thermals in the background. It will record the maximum temperatures here. I know that Cinebench is not like Prime 95 or anything, but still, let's go ahead and run the test. So here we go. Oh, brilliant. So there we go, we have finished and we have a score of 1081, which is, I don't know, is that good? Wait, what? Why is the 3930K faster than the 5930K? Am I misunderstanding something here, or is that not right? I don't know. Maximum temperatures, 52. There's the maximum temperatures that we got. Just move the mouse. Anyway, I can confirm that it does work, so I'm going to turn the computer off and go about putting my motherboard into my computer case, and then I'll tweak stuff from there. Okay, so it is a bit later, so I think I'm ready to go ahead and put the motherboard back in. Well, put the new motherboard in is what I should actually say. Okay, so here is the I/O shield. Now these bits are always to the bottom of the case, so I just need to put it in like that. Is that it in? And there's it in, I think. So yeah, now I can put the motherboard in. Progress is being made. Now there's this fan cable here. There we go, there is the motherboard in. There we go, all of the holes align, so now I can go about putting the screws back in. And because I've been organised, I know where they are, they're there. Now, like I did when I was removing them, I'm not going to record me putting them all back in, so I'm just going to jump cut you to once I've finished putting them all back in. Now I'm just putting the last screw in now. I can say there are all 8 screws installed. I say 8 because, like I said, the 9th one here, or what would be the 9th one, is a pin that's actually part of the case. There's the motherboard put in and installed. Now I need to put the fan back on the cooler. But yeah. So let me just plug that in there. And now I can stand my case up again and go about putting the power supply back in. So I'm going to do that. Oh, and probably not camera over in the process. No. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the motherboard, put the power supply back in. And before you ask, yes, I do know I have a 650 watt powering a GTX 970 and a 5930K. Which, according to research I've done, is enough power, but if my computer shuts off, then I'll need to buy a large power supply. Simple as that. Now I'm going to see about connecting all of the front panel I/O to these little connectors and then plug them in wherever they're supposed to go. I need to go and get the manual. Okay, so I slightly got a bit carried away with cabling. I've plugged the power supply in and I've plugged the CPU power in, and I'm about to do the motherboard power. I've done the front I/O panel connector, and currently I'm just doing the hard drives, well, SSDs, as I don't have any hard drives. I'm not going to plug the Vertex 4 in because that's my editing drive, and as I'm going to be reinstalling Windows, I don't want to accidentally wipe that drive. And if I don't plug it in, then I can't accidentally wipe it because it won't be detected. Right, there's the front panel. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Where's those, where have they gone? Oh, they've all stuck to my microfiber cloth. Yep, knew this would happen. My little Velcro, little Velcro things for putting on here. There we go, and that one goes in there like that. Now there's the front audio, there's the front I/O, there is the motherboard power, which I'm going to plug in right now before I forget. So you won't be able to see this, but the human eye can. Plug that in there like that. That's in, so there's motherboard power in. Where's my USB 3.0? So if I have that coming through there, in fact no. I'll do what I did with my old motherboard. And then plug it in there like that. Pull the cable through like that. I don't want to put stress on the motherboard connector, so I'll leave that like that. As for the SATAs, which SATA is this? That's my editing drive SATA, so I don't actually want to put that one in at the moment. This one is my OS drive SATA, so I'll plug it into the bottom one for now. Like that. No, I think that is it actually. Right, so now I can go about putting the graphics card. We have some slightly severe, very major cable management issues here. I'll work on the cable management once the system's actually up and running. Well, I'll work on it a bit more once it's up and running. Right, oops, oh, there's another, you see, there's another hole I need to fill in the wall. Probably can't see that, but yeah, I need to fill another hole in the wall. So now I can fit the graphics cards, so I'm going to do that. That one means I need to remove this, which also means that my GPU brace is, it needs reshaping. So I'll unscrew it from here, move it up to the top one, screw it in there, like that. Right, now my GPU should fit in. And yes, it does. And I need to take the GPU screws and screw this back in. Oh! Okay, now it has actually just fallen through the graphics card. I hate these GPU screws, I can never get them in. Oh, I've dropped it again. God's sake. Don't drop it this time, you idiot. Right, that one's in. Let's try and get this one. Let's try with the tweezers. Why didn't you think of that before? Look at that, so much easier with the tweezers. So now I can plug the GPU power back in. Now I've put it all back in its case, watch it not work. That would just be my luck, that would be. Right, there's a GPU, motherboard, CPU fan, my little homemade brace to hold it in place. How can I put that on when the GPU's on, you idiot? Okay, I guess we'll not have that on, I'll just have to align it properly. There we go, I am ready to put it back down where it lives and then turn it on. I won't put the side panels on yet because, like I said, I want to install the OS before I plug in my other drives and stuff, so if I put them on I'll just need to take them off again later. So now I'm going to plug everything back in to the back of the computer and hopefully it all works. I am ready. This is where something either works or doesn't. So here is the moment of truth. I'm going to press the power button. Right, that's turned on, but the LED hasn't come on. That does make sense. The speaker hasn't beeped yet. I've got the post on my second monitor that just went off. And I am pleased to say that here we are at the desktop, so yay! Let's go and check everything. I am not used to seeing RAM being in the single figures mark when used, but that's because before I only had 16 gigabytes, whereas now I've got 32, so it's literally double. CPU all detected, all working fine. I can now go ahead and create a media installation USB using the Windows Media Creation tool, and then I can go about reinstalling the OS. But that will be in part 4. Yes, there is a part 4 to this video on when I reinstall the OS and well, set it up to how I normally have it set up. So anyway, that has been it for part 3, which has been the installation of my new motherboard and the first switch on. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like it. If you didn't, dislike it. Also comment, favourite, subscribe, share the video, stuff like that. So thank you for watching and I shall see you in part 4.